Come on in. My name is Bill Tobin, and this is your Restaurant Leadership 365 Flash Briefing for Monday, March 22nd, 2021. Saturday night, we went to dinner with my wife's immediate family to celebrate her birthday. To be fair, her family has high standards for food and service, and we've had several poor experiences going out as a group. With this background and knowing how difficult it can be for large groups, my wife tried to talk my mother-in-law out of going out to a restaurant. She suggested that we meet at someone's house and have it catered, but my mother-in-law insisted, saying that eating in is too much work and we should go to a restaurant. After RSVPs from family, they had 12 people to make a reservation for. Honolulu has social distancing requirements due to COVID and limits parties to groups of 10. Since there were 4 teenage boys in the group, they sat at a table for 4 and the rest of us would seat at a table for 8. Realizing this was going to be a challenge, my wife suggested to the restaurant that we all pre-order a 4-course meal. This would help them to plan the meal and hopefully prevent any problems with the server being in the weeds or miscommunication in order taking. The restaurant thought that was a good idea and we gave them our menu a day in advance. In what was a first for our family and my in-laws, we arrived about 5 minutes early for our reservation. The restaurant sat us right away. Up until that point, everything was perfect. But I wouldn't be telling you the story or keeping the name of the restaurant a secret if everything was perfect from that point on. In fact, it may have been the worst restaurant meal that we've ever had in Hawaii. Though we were greeted warmly and our server opened a bottle of champagne for us, my father-in-law had to complain and say, "We're hungry," to him after we'd been waiting for 45 minutes with no food. 10 minutes later, the server brought cornbread, which was part of the meal. Our first course was served 70 minutes after our reservation time, and all of the other courses were just as slow. The chef's wife came over to wish my wife a happy birthday between the first and second course, but never a "I'm sorry" or even an acknowledgement that something was wrong. We didn't see her for the rest of the night. We left the restaurant at a little over 3 hours for our meal. Though in some circumstances I would say that's about right for a party of 12, it was a disaster for a party that thought their pre-planning was going to keep things moving. Unfortunately, as we've all seen in our restaurants, when something is glaringly wrong, the parties start to pick apart everything else that's not right about the restaurant. In the end, they had 12 people walking out of the restaurant as ex-customers, most of them willing to tell their stories to as many people that will listen. So your task for today? Teach your staff a sense of urgency and communicate with your guests if something's not right. Now go make it happen. Do you have a comment or a tip for restaurant leaders? Text me at 808-201-0550 or find me at restaurantleadership365.com. This is Bill Tobin. Thanks for coming in. See you tomorrow.